Hey there, it's Tracy with Trixie Scraps coming at you with the next installment of Scrap Saturday. This is my weekly series where I work on a layout for my personal family albums and hopefully show you some tips, tricks, and tutorials along the way. So today I'm going to be working in Photoshop CS6 as I always do. When I design my kits, I work in Photoshop all the time, and this is just my comfort zone. So I don't really think I have anything technique heavy today that I'm going to show you. So everything I do in here should be pretty applicable to Photoshop elements if that's what you happen to use. I am going to be working with my kit named Triumphant today, and you'll see when I show you the photos that I'm going to scrap in just a little while why I need to work with that kit today. I'm trying to motivate myself here. And then I'm also going to be using one of the templates from my Insta Happy Volume 2 pack. And I have about 7 photos I think I want to use, so I'm going to use this template here, which I've already pulled out. So I'm going to go ahead and close this preview. I'll leave this one open for a little while longer. And I will link these products that I use in the description box down below, of course, so that you can find them if you are interested in them. It has been 39 weeks officially since I had my vertical sleeve bariatric surgery. So weight loss wise, I'm doing really great. I'm up to 136 pounds lost. Yay me. What that means is this past Tuesday, I officially passed the halfway milestone, halfway to goal. So I was super excited about that. But you can see that I have some photos here pulled up. And yeah, it wasn't a great week. So I hurt myself pretty bad. They still don't. I went to urgent care. The stupid doctor wouldn't take x-rays. She was pretty convinced, without barely even touching my foot, she was convinced that it was a sprain and sent me home with this. It's a very long story. I'm not even going to get into it, but sent me home with this boot and yeah, the instructions that I need to stay off of it for at least a week. So it's a little bit of a bummer because I was finally getting to the point where I was starting to work out again and feeling really motivated. And you'll see I have 2 little snapshots of 2 walks that I took the day that I did this to my foot. So yeah, anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we don't really need to have like all of these photos. It's kind of overkill. So we'll just go with these for now. So yeah, I don't really know what I did to myself. Before I even do anything, let me just apologize for the status of these gnarly toes that you guys are going to be looking at in this video. I am desperately overdue for a pedicure. I usually go with my cousin to get this done, and her and I just, yeah, haven't been able to hook our schedules up and figure it all out. So, yeah, haven't gone. My toes look disgusting. I'm sorry. Don't look at them. So, anyway, these screenshots are from my iPhone from a nifty little app called Map My Walk, which I've been using and I really enjoy. I was feeling all kinds of ambitious and went for 2 walks the day that I did this. What was this, 4/7? I had gone out in the afternoon and, you know, did this first walk. I was feeling really good about it. And then my neighbor across the street was like, oh, well, you know, let's go for another one. Okay, so I signed on for that. Actually, before I resize that, I want to resize them both at the same time because they're the same size. So I signed up for my second walk for the day, and clearly, my husband tells me I have a tendency to do this all the time. I don't know how to pace myself. You know, I start to feel better, and I start to think I'm invincible, and I am not. So I clearly overdid it this day, and I am paying for it. So when I first went out with my neighbor in the evening, and we first started walking, it was hurting me a little bit, but not like anything where I would have thought, you need to go back inside. I've been kind of dealing with sort of like a nagging soreness on my left foot for a few weeks now. It would come and go, and to be honest with you, and I just resized these too much. To be honest with you, I initially thought that it was from my flip-flops, because if you know me, I kind of have a little bit of an issue with wearing flip-flops. I wear them all the time. Like, even when it's like 40 degrees out, I'm bad. I'll put them on my feet. Um, there has to be snow on the grounds, really, for me to stop wearing my flip-flops. And so I thought, well, maybe I've just been overdoing it with the flip-flops lately, and the thong that goes in between your toes was irritating that tendon between my big toe and my second toe. That's what I thought initially. So I laid off the flip-flops for a little bit, and it started feeling better. So then I thought, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to walk today. So I did my first little half-mile walk. Everything seemed to be fine with that. And then the second walk, when we started out, like I said, it felt a little sore, but I didn't really think anything of it. So just kept on going. And actually throughout the walk, I felt great. Did fine. Got our walk done and came back in the house, sat down and watched TV with my husband for a little while. And the next time I tried to get up and go to the bathroom, I was like, oh no, what have I done? So yeah, so that's this picture here, which once we're zoomed in on it, you can see that it's all puffy and it's a little bit bruised, and yeah, it was a mess. And we're definitely not going to stay zoomed in that much on those ugly, gnarly toes. So I thought maybe, still in denial, thought, okay, maybe I just aggravated whatever's going on with that, space between my toes, and it'll be better after I rest. So went to sleep that night, thought everything was going to be fine. Next morning, get up, everything was not fine. So I have this comparison shot. You can see it's kind of, whoops, let me click on it so it zooms. It's kind of hard, I guess, to see in this photo, but you can see that there's a a dip between my toes and my foot here, and over on this side there isn't one because it was all puffy all through here, all through here. It was a little bit bruised. Yeah, did a number on myself. So I started looking up what I possibly did. Actually, I called my primary first to ask him what he thought I should do. I didn't know if he would want me to come in and see him or what. They never called me back. I was super irritated. This was, I think, on a Friday. All of this was going down. And so my husband came home from work and saw that I really couldn't walk. I could put weight on it. It was a weird, it still feels weird. I could stand up and it doesn't hurt when I just stand on it. But the process of walking and pivoting off the balls of my feet is what hurts. So, yeah. So he insisted that we go to urgent care. But before we went, I consulted Dr. Google, not Dr. Google, Dr. YouTube, because everything's YouTube these days. And it seemed like from a couple different podiatrists' videos that we watched that it might have been a stress fracture in one of the metatarsals, actually in the second metatarsal, because that's where it was hurting me. When I pushed on it, I did kind of what the podiatrist had done in the video, and yeah. Anyway, we go. She's like, well, I'm not going to say that you need x-rays because in 15 years being a doctor, I've never seen a metatarsal stress fracture. Seemed unlikely. But end of the day, I kind of gave in and didn't insist on an x-ray, mostly because it didn't really matter whether it's a stress fracture or a sprain. The treatment's pretty much the same. And that brings me to this lovely picture. So I got home in this massive boot, and I have to wear this anytime I get up to walk. I hate it. It's really gigantic and heavy. So I tend not to wear it when I'm sitting still for hours at a time, mostly because I can't get comfortable with it. But when I get up, I'm supposed to wear it, and I try to. I'm thinking I might want to put this down here, but I don't know if it's going to fit. But I could just make it fit, right? It's a template. Doesn't mean I have to follow it exactly. And here's the other thing that probably most people don't think about. When you lose 135 pounds, 136 pounds, that's where I'm at, you've lost like a whole person, or a small female, I guess, almost a whole person. And your center of balance radically changes when you do that. So I keep making jokes about it when I really shouldn't because it's really kind of true. I am very weeble wobbly right now, like really badly weeble wobbly. Um, my balance is just, I mean, it's never probably, when you're big and round, you probably don't have the best balance in the world, but so it's never really been great, but it's really bad right now. I think it's just because my center of gravity keeps changing and yeah, I got to get all that under control. My cousin also suggested these beach body workout tape things to me called Tai Chang. I think it's named after the guy who invented the workout. His name is Chang, I think. So it's kind of like a combination of Tai Chi and strengthening and balance and I don't know. When I first looked at it, I was like, really? Old people do this? And I'm not old, but at this point, I might need to adjust my attitude about it because I don't want to keep hurting myself. Now that I have the actual motivation to work out, I want to be able to actually do that. So, yeah. Anyway, so I've been rambling for 12 minutes, and I haven't even put anything from the kit on the page yet. So let's try to get that done real quick. So sorry you've had to hear my boring story about going for a walk and hurting myself, but yeah, that's what I did. So I'm going to try and tell the whole story of everything and then maybe even stick a little bit of journaling down here because the cherry on the top of the whole story is that I was feeling super, super bummed after the visit to the urgent care. Really frustrated with myself that I got hurt and yeah, just down and kind of low about it. And then I stepped on the scale on, what was that, Tuesday, and realized I had passed the halfway mark. And I was like, you know what? Eric keeps telling me, my husband keeps telling me, this is not a setback, it's just a speed bump. And I need to listen to him sometimes because he's a pretty smart guy. But I figured when I scrapped this page, I wanted to use this kit because I wanted to remind myself that even though I've been feeling a little low about this injury this week, it's just a speed bump, and I will be triumphant, and I will start working out again before too long. I am determined. I will just do it. I will keep trying. See, all this word art is perfect for this. Oh my goodness. If at first you don't succeed, this is going on the page for sure. I don't know where, but it's going on the page. Let's see. I'm going to replace these scallop borders with this. It's perfect. It's like the exact same thickness. Oh, it's just lovely. Okay. And see you later, scallops. So I'm going to go ahead and put this video on fast forward, and pretty much the rest of this is just going to be plugging in some papers, throwing some elements on there, and telling the story of how I happened to hurt myself this past week. So thanks for hanging out with me during this crazy long story, you guys. I hope I didn't bore you too much, and away we go. Okay guys, there you have it. That's the finished layout. This is a little bit of a busy one, but I kind of wanted to tell the whole story. Um, so I did lie about one little thing. I did use something that I believe is only available in Photoshop, and that is the Puppet Warp tool. You may have noticed towards the beginning of the speed up where I put this yellow ribbon in at the top. The ribbon in the kit is a pretty wide ribbon. And I didn't like how wide it was at the top. I actually didn't really have space for it next to that wide star border. So what I did was I shrunk it down to just about halfway across the page and then duplicated it, flipped it around, and then it was kind of sitting sort of wonky. So I used the Puppet Warp tool and I actually gave the ribbon a little bit of character and kind of did a little pinch over here and kind of moved it around so it just looked like it was like subtly kind of waving across the page there, I guess. But I'm pretty sure that's the only thing I did in this whole layout that you wouldn't be able to do in Photoshop Elements. Most of it was really just plugging in the photos into the photo spots, embellishing, where the embellishments called for. And you can see I added a lot of the little word snippets from the kit, and then I decided that after telling this whole story, I needed a big old green arrow pointing to the highlight of the week, which was passing my halfway to goal weight mark. And I changed my mind. I was going to title the page 39 Weeks, but I decided to use one of the word art clusters from the collection because Never Give Up, that's also kind of appropriate for this journey that I'm on. I just need to keep reminding myself to not give up. So I hope you guys have had a better week than I had. And I hope you have an even better weekend. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, as always, you can leave them in the comments down below and I will get back to you in a future video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel so you never miss another episode of Scrap Saturday. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day. Bye.